Yesterday, Ishowspeed was in the Sahara Desert, and while they were cruising and breezing down the freeway, he was updated that one of his drone guys quit. And interestingly, his reaction was extremely unreal. I want us to listen to that part when he was being briefed about, his drone guy disappearing into oblivion.
Do we got drone? He quit. Why did he quit?
Just couldn't handle the pressure, bro.
What pressure?
Kept disappearing. I had to get.
Kept disappearing. Anyways, I also tend to believe that dealing and working with Ishowspeed'S requires you to have special skills, because that guy can get out of his skin, and he's literally a tick boom boom. He can go off, calm down, like he's unpredictable. But then interestingly, while he was on his IRL stream in South Africa, they still had issues, because one on the cover allegedly has it that at some point the drone guy shot it up in the sky, and the drone disappeared. And the reason why the drone disappeared apparently is that, he said that, strange birds jumped on the drone, beat it, and it fell into the ocean. So I want you to listen to that part, and then, yeah.
We have no drone at the last spot. Birds attacked it, and it fell into the ocean.
Really?
That's gotta be bullshit, bro.
Yeah, for sure. That's BS. Like, since when do we have monster angry birds that keep on jumping on drones, and beating them to the ocean? There's a part as well where he's reacting, and I think he usually just goes on mute. Like he tells one of his I think one of the sound moderators, to just mute, and then they have an exchange on off, and then when he's done, giving them peace of his mind, he's back to the with the GoPro. And that just shows you that it's not easy being on Ishowspeed'S team. And despite the fact that all those drone shots that previously aired, what I like to also thank him about his IRL stream in Kenya is that it was seamless, even though around just KICC there was a bit of a stampede, and it was chaos exploded. Literally, you could see people struggling to get in. It was helter skelter. But the drone guy at least managed to show, an aerial 360 of Nairobi and KICC, and that was an incredible boost to our tourism, our sector. I saw Cabinet Secretary, Tourism and Wildlife, Rebecca Miano, was there to actually, usher him into, the helicopter that actually gave him, just a full sky view of Nairobi, while in the copter, he also hit 48 million, subs, with garnering up to 360,000, K views, followers. I mean, so it's not easy working with Ishowspeed. What shocked me, there's a part of the video where he says, about that news, it doesn't faze me, because it looks like they've been having all these internal wrangles, because initially before, Ishowspeed had said they had a deal with a private jet. They had even paid them over $200,000, and last minute the jet guys disappointed. Ishowspeed had to fly commercial. So there's been a lot of sabotaging, and as much as there's excellence in what he does, but behind the scenes there's always 1, 2, 3 things that pull him down, and that just shows you what exactly it takes to make a star. Everybody that you see who's famous, they have a good team, they're always on point, and fantastic at what they do. There's always things happening behind the scenes, and that just shows you that he's a human being. It's not all about perfection, and his streams are literally organic. There's a point where he complained about his mental health, saying it was in the gutter, but he had to work on it. There's a lot of things he had put into consideration before actually doing this Africa tour. He had suggested it before to a team of around 5. Everybody else was not hands on deck, and then eventually they ended up becoming part of it when it now blew up, because remember, he spent his New Year's in Africa. I believe it was in South Africa. So he said he had to put a lot of things into consideration. I remember during his IRL Zimbabwe, there's a place he was pleading actually his handlers behind the scenes to just give him a 2-day break to sleep. And I remember him walking and saying, what, just stream after stream in Africa with no break. it looked like he had bagged the controllers in the United States, because for a person like Speed, they're not dealing with, the people on ground. He's dealing with, his handlers who are best in the United States. So they tell him it's nonstop. You can't sleep. You can't breathe. So they take him as a machine. And you can see Ashley Speed is energetic, and he gives that, ecstasy, and that, electrifying and feel good, and just, going out there and getting it and cranking it and barking, lacking, all doing all those things, all those stunts is what people go for. So it's interesting. Yesterday, and also during his Egypt visit, he actually collapsed, passed out, and he almost even, did some crazy things, with his. I pray that, his stomach feels better and he gets to finish his tour fair, healthy, and sound.